So welcome. I'm so glad you're watching our video. I'm really pleased that Chris Streeter is with us today, and he has a new title, and his title is the Canon to the Ordinary for Congregational Life, and also the Director of Shaped by Faith. And so I know it sounds like an awful lot.
It's a mouthful.
And yeah, but he's up to it, and we're really glad he's here. And many of you know him because he's often with us at St. Andrews, and we're very blessed by that every single time he's with us. So thank you, Chris, for being with us.
Thank you, Barbara.
I've asked Chris to be a part of this conversation because I've been trying to open up for you what Shaped by Faith is and how we're exploring it and wondering about it at St. Andrews and how it will transform who we are. And so I thought I should go to the one who knows everything about it and come to Chris and ask him to give us somewhat of a background and an explanation as he sees the much bigger piece that we're a small part in. And so, Chris, I'd like to start, somewhere along the line, you and others chose the name for this initiative and this invitation to all of us, and it is Shaped by Faith. And so I'm wondering if you can talk to me a bit about why you call it Shaped by Faith and what part does the faith part play in the whole idea behind what you're offering us.
I'd be happy to. And Barbara, thank you for this invitation. It's always a treat spending time with you and the folks at St. Andrews. I can brag on this name. It was a name that I found really compelling, and I can brag about it because it was actually in the hopper before I was called to this diocese. It was our bishop, Bishop Scanlon, that really discerned that Shaped by Faith was a way of naming this work together. In short, I'll tell you that maybe about 3 years ago now, after Bishop Scanlon had been in this diocese for about 3 or 4 years, a reality struck her. In looking, because the word bishop means overseer. So in looking over the 63 parishes of our diocese, what she noted was just looking at trends. If things continued the way that they have been, we would see that about a third of our parishes in about a 5 to 7 year time span would not be able to continue ministry in the way that they have been. They would run out of financial resources. And so as the overseer for the diocese, she really did some internal discernment and said, well, how am I going to respond to this challenging time? And her response, thanks be to God, was not to be shaped by anxiety or shaped by fear or, shaped by resignation, but to say, you know what, naming these challenges and facing them head on is really an act of faith. So we're really gonna be we're gonna allow our response to the challenges of this time be shaped by our faith in God and the faith that you and I aren't here by accident, that God has placed us here in central Pennsylvania in this time to serve and be a light of God's joy and love. So that's what compelled then this parish priest to leave a place that I loved in upstate New York and come down here because I wanted to be part of Shaped by Faith.
And it seems to me too that the response is shaped by faith, and it is a step out in faith. I mean, I feel like that's what you're asking of us, to not only claim that we understand God as a part of this, but boldly act to begin to make a difference so that we can either be sustainable or create a new ways, opportunities to serve other people, be faithful community members at least.
I would say that that's right, Barbara. And then the shaped piece was also important for Bishop Scanlon, saying, are we willing, and not just one or two of us, but all 63 congregations of this diocese, what would it be like if we all held the mirror up to ourselves and said, is the way that we are currently shaped, that is having these 63 places spread throughout this region of central Pennsylvania, is that really, it perhaps was the best shape for us 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago? Does it continue to be the best shape for us? And if not, what shifts in the way that we are structured might God be inviting us to consider? And again, I think it takes real deep, mature faith to be able to have those conversations.
Well, I'm glad you raised that, because I often think about it in terms of our hearts being shaped by our faith and our response. Our faithful response to what God is talking to us. But as you're mentioning too, there's a very structural component to it, so that things may look different in the way we may be organized, or the way that we may be able to be a presence in our neighborhood can really dramatically shift or change or be shaped by our response to our reality.